Is this
I'm
aimed
get rid
at
of the stuff from in my teeth. I got Oreo in my
how
teeth.
to clean your grill?
Can you find the questions, please?
Elliot's actually going to read them out to us.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's nice.
I was just reading my weird email
No one cares.
from the New York Times.
Question 1.
Question 1.
Thanks, Elliot.
First ever Q&A. Very exciting.
Q&A.
Thank you for your question.
Get ready. Got the Oreo out of my teeth. You've read your dumb email. Let's go.
This is from
Stop taking the time.
this is from Viola Bay.
Okay.
She
Okay.
says, a question for both of you.
Interesting.
Would you have been friends back in university
No.
days?
No. I was going to say no, but then I
Since
paused.
Harriet didn't have any lol.
That's
Yes.
really
I saw
mean.
that question. Big fan of that one.
I don't think we were. Well, firstly, Sunil is very old.
Very old.
Sunil is very old, so I would have been a mere baby.
So when I
you
was
were
at university,
so
you
we
would have
never
been-
would have met unless maybe you would have babysat me. And then we could have been friends.
But you were like illegally drinking when I was at
Yeah.
uni, right?
Yeah.
So there's a very small chance.
Yeah.
So when I was at uni, you were what, 14? 2002?
Wait,
No,
I'm trying to do quick
2000,
maths. I'm trying to do
2000.
quick maths. Yeah. So is that when you went to uni, or that was your last year at uni?
My last year was 2004.
Yeah. So I would have been out in the bars from around 2001 till 2005.
How old were you in 2001?
13.
Imagine seeing a 13-year-old in a bar. Grim,
No,
that,
14 really.
But everyone must have known you were 13 or 14. Like, why do they?
I don't know.
I mean, they just
women,
let-
girls look older. But if would you have been my friend?
Oh, God. Imagine that. Imagine me being friends. This is my friend Harriet. She's 13. Oh, gross. But I
wouldn't be
don't.
my
Even if we
friend.
were the same age, we wouldn't have been friends at uni anyway. No.
Enemies probably.
No, we wouldn't have known each other.
We would be
We'd have
enemies.
very
Why
different
wouldn't we have known
circles.
each other?
I'd be in like the jock. I'd be a jock. You'd be a nerd, probably.
You don't play any sports.
Yeah, I played sports at uni.
What sports do you play?
Fucking loads of them.
What? Name a sport
That I have
you don't
played
know
in the
any
past.
Sports at
Footy,
university?
rugger.
No, you don't even know any sports. I was
played
in the
rugby at school,
wakeboarding
but I
club.
never played at university because it was all a bit serious.
You were in the wakeboarding club.
Why have I been in the wakeboarding?
I was
club?
in the wakeboarding club
Where?
at Kingston University.
But you didn't have any friends there. You just went home.
Yeah, I know. We would go to the pub sometimes after we went wakeboarding.
So you did have some friends, or they
no,
weren't.
because I never saw them outside of it. And then I stopped because then it got really cold. They kept doing it all year, and then after
Fuck, were you
October
doing
it was really
wakeboarding?
cold.
You can't wakeboard.
I can actually. I can
Can you?
wakeboard and snowboard. Yeah.
I thought that's actually quite surprising because like you're dyspraxic, but you're actually
Yeah.
quite good.
I
at...
can snowboard better than I can walk.
Why?
So, what?
Why? Is that because you
Easier,
started
it's
as a
just
kid?
yeah, and it's just like you feel like you're gliding, whereas walking, there's so much going on. To move all your body is very difficult, whereas snowboarding is just like leaning.
But snowboarding, the leaning thing is, I think you're underestimating how hard it is actually.
Thank you.
Because you've got to move your whole body in unison. You
Thank
can't be
you.
like flailing around
Thank
like you
you.
do when you walk.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't flail when I snow. It's so weird.
Just calm.
Yeah, in flow zone.
but
So
no,
you
I don't
wouldn't have
think-
been my friend.
Well, I don't know
I
how
would have
we'd
been your friend.
Is that in stand-up? You're friends with people you'd never have met
Yeah,
at any other time.
never have met different social circles.
Completely different people,
Yeah,
bound only by the fact that you're doing
yeah,
comedy,
yeah.
which is quite fun in a way. But I very much doubt we'd have been friends.
No,
otherwise.
no, I never would have spoken to you.
Well, I'm not. I'm actually giving honest like answers.
You're acting
being,
like you're disgusted at the idea that you would have
I'm
been my
absolutely
friend.
not.
You are,
I'm
yeah.
being honest. You're taking it emotionally.
How is it not an emotional way to say if you say absolutely I would never have been her friend? Surely you take
I'm
that
saying we
emotionally.
never would have met. Like, how would we have met if it wasn't for comedy?
Because I'm too young. Okay, next question.
Next question is from Sasha Branscombe.
Okay.
She says, what has been your favourite episode to look back on? Mine is Quickfire Sadness.
So what happened in Quickfire Sadness? Was that all the stories you did?
That's when there were lots of short stories that
Loads of
were
headlines.
very sad.
Yeah.
And I think that might have been the episode when you cried. So that was my
That was it.
favourite
It
when I
was.
finally
Yeah,
broke
yeah, yeah.
you. And
It was
I think
so funny.
my new goal now is to make you admit how grumpy you are. And so now that I've made you cry,
I
it's
think-
to make you admit your grumpiness.
I think like if I am grumpy, I will admit it. I'm not going to let you stop me being grumpy because it mean I have to admit it.
No, you don't have to stop it. You just have to admit it.
No, but if you imagine the tables had turned, if it was me saying you're grumpy and you were denying it, you continue denying you were grumpy, even though you wanted to be grumpy, just so you could win.
Yeah.
Whereas I would never do that.
Yeah. Wait, what? What's your
So
favorite
to answer your
episode?
question,
What's your favorite episode? We go into the
my
grumpy
favorite
debate
episode
again.
is actually the very first one we did,
Really?
because that was the first one where I was like, oh, clearly this is a thing that we can keep going, and it was where you stepped on a snail and then cried.
Oh, that
Which
was
is
so
very you.
sad. That's my worst episode because of the snail. What?
I think that one is probably my favorite, just because. Actually, no, my favorite is when Sean came on and I spat across the table.
Yeah, that was the first video and it started and you spat.
Yeah, I remember that.
I love that. That was a really good start.
It's actually it's quite hard to remember full episodes. I just listened to. I
Yeah.
just remember little bits of each one.
My favourite was when I ordered Pizza Express and nobody knew, and then the Pizza Express turned up.
That was exciting.
That was because it was very thrilling, and then there was Pizza Express, so there was lots of good. I'd timed it very well, and then we got pizza. There was lots to love about that one.
I'm trying to remember this other one. It's usually once a year we just decide to take it seriously.
Yeah.
And we do something that changes. When Elliot brought in the backdrop.
Oh, the flag.
That was the flag. That was good. I remember that one. Just when we were filming it was just, oh yeah, hang on. When Sean comes on, it's always good as well.
Yeah, we should get Sean on again. I
don't
liked
know,
it when
let's
I
not get
read
Sean
you
on
and
again.
Jordan your horoscopes as well. That was fun
We should do horoscopes
because
again,
they were
shouldn't
really
we?
true. Yeah. Yeah. Well, spooky.
Let us know if you want us to do horoscopes
Yeah.
again, I guess. I think have you been reading your horoscopes?
No, because at the moment I don't want to know.
I've been reading mine. Mine's great. Mine's looking good.
Well,
that
What's
helps.
it saying?
What? Which one?
What's it saying about your?
Just keep going,
It's not great.
It's
is
like
it?
you've been tremendously cheerful recently.
That's not what it says. It doesn't say that. Oh my god.
we have 3 from Anthony Conway.
Okay,
And I'm
take
gonna
it
allow
easy,
it.
Anthony.
I'm going to allow it.
Okay, one at a time though. One at a time.
One at a time,
Yeah,
one at a
okay.
time. Question number 1. Where and when did you both meet?
I remember actually because you had a rape whistle on around your neck, and
It was an alarm, not a whistle.
Oh, all right, but you coloured it.
No, I
silver
stuck it together
glitter,
with.
and I was like, "What? Who the fuck is this?" And we were doing a
Yeah.
gig. I think I remember it because it was this weird themed gig in a hut in the back of a pub in Streatham.
Oh my god! It was pirate themed.
It was a pirate themed gig, and Harriet turned up with a rape whistle in silver glitter. No, a rape alarm
Yeah.
painted with silver glitter to do her. That was part of your set at
Yeah.
the time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think that's the first time I think it is.
Yeah.
Or was it the competition?
It was so funny because that was before I moved to Streatham, and it was so hard to get there. And then I moved there.
Those are the times when we just started and you had to ask a lot of people to give you stage time.
Yeah.
And I remember it was Ben Adams who ran it.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, come down and do it. And I was like, oh great, I've got a gig. And it was there was actually people there because it was weird. You get to gigs and there'd be no one there usually, but this one was very well attended.
Yeah.
And
Pirate themed.
pirate
I don't remember
themed.
doing. I think he did
Yeah,
pirate puns in between.
Did we have to do pirate jokes?
Someone was dressed as a pirate. I wouldn't have had any pirate
I
jokes.
didn't have any
so
pirate jokes.
I've never had a pirate joke. It's a thing about me. I just don't.
That's why we met. But that was 2011?
I don't remember that
12?
at all. I don't remember meeting you. You didn't stand out. I probably met a few people. Next question.
Question 2. How did the podcast come about?
I said, do you want to do a podcast?
Do you think it was your
This
idea?
is your idea.
I think it was my idea. The name of this podcast was Roxy's idea.
Oh.
So I was like, what should we call it? And she said, why don't you call it Why is Harriet Crying? Because she cries a lot. So Roxy Dunn, who's my housemate at the time and an actress, she said that.
We should get Roxy on here.
We should get Roxy on, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that. So it's not technically
There was
my
going to be
idea.
another idea that we were going to call it, but then I forgot.
There were 2 ideas. One was hide and seek, where we just hide from each other and record us trying to find each other. And then there was driving Miss Sunil.
Oh yeah, like driving Miss Daisy, but it was driving Miss Sunil.
So Harriet
remember-
drives me to a
Oh, yeah.
random location, and then I have to get home somehow, and she doesn't tell me where it is.
we ended up with this. So
And then
they
we ended
were all
up with
very good. So it was hard. It was hard to pick which one
I think it was
going to be.
because it was. I remember I came back from Edinburgh in like 2016, so it was about September 2016, and I was like, I'm pretty bored. I want to do something fun, and I made Harriet do a podcast.
Yeah, we went to that cafe in Streatham and did a brainstorm.
Did we?
Yeah, we went the one that does the chocolate Guinness cake, Boyce. My favourite cafe.
Oh, that massive one.
No, it's not massive.
It's not massive.
It's small. It's actually small, I'd say, rather than massive.
Yeah, so that was the genesis of it. Yeah.
Comment, then a question for Anthony's final one is, hopefully Harriet remembers the taking the beans out incident at her Manchester gig last year. I just wondered, what is the most memorable comment, good or bad, from an audience member from any of your gigs that still makes you chuckle when you think about it now? And
Do you remember the bean incident?
I think it was someone said taking the bins out, and then I thought they said taking the beans out. That's all I can remember.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
what I imagine it was. But sometimes
so Anthony was in the audience. Was
he came. I think he
was.
was at my Manchester tour show.
Right.
I am very. I say so many embarrassing things. I try and block them out.
Right.
So it's hard to always remember what has
Taking
happened.
the
But that
beans
seems
out.
like something that I would do
That
if
is
I'm
very,
going to
That's very funny.
imagine what that was about. What's yours?
What for
That
audience
someone's heckled
members?
or- audience
When they
members
say
said-
something a bit silly.
Heckles, I don't really get that many heckles really that are anything that I can remember. Because usually heckles are along the lines of like,
Your shit.
they're like, I do that, or like, yeah, my mate does that. It's like all that kind of nonsense. But I think audience-wise, I think usually if I've done badly, someone like who catches my eye and they feel like they have something, they have to say something, so they're like, you remind me of one of my friends or something, and it's usually that. It's just that they're struggling to think of something to say, and it can't be a compliment because they don't want to lie. So yeah.
Is my nose running? I don't know.
They don't ever say that to me.
Mine, I've had a few times, especially near the beginning, where somebody would yell, like particularly at quite rough gigs, somebody would yell something mean, and then someone else would yell, "Leave her alone, she's just trying." And then the whole audience would get behind the person that had yelled, and they'd go, "Come on, you can do it." And then they'd all clap. But then the problem is it would be really fun, and I'd be like, thank you, and then I'd go back, but then they'd still be like, I mean, we still don't like you, but we did get behind.
It's like the comedy store gig you did.
That was absolute chaos, yeah, but that was
you had to be like, everybody please calm down.
yeah, because everyone went a bit chaotic.
She lost the whole audience at the comedy store.
Yeah, but no, because it went so well the first time. That's why it was such a
right.
the first time went so well and this one went so badly. It was like, that's the thing with comedy, you never know. But
you
also
you do get to the point where you do know.
Yeah,
so don't worry about it.
Yeah,
After a while you do get to the point where you know.
You're more consistent. I was very inconsistent in the first few to 5 years. Next question.
This comes from Ferdarig, I believe it is.
Yeah.
It's kind of two, but ask them together with some. What made you decide to do stand-up, and when did you start?
Do you want to go first?
I started stand-up nearly 10 years ago, which I got asked that last night, and I just felt sick because I was like, I panicked, and I just was like, I should be better and I should be further along, and don't agree with that.
No, I'm not agreeing with the panic.
Oh yeah. But then it was because I'd finished university. I was doing acting bits, but then I couldn't get into drama school, and I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. And then my mum and dad were watching Live at the Apollo, and they said, "We think you should try stand-up." They were like, "Stupid things always happen to you. You should try stand-up. Go and do it." And I was like, "That's mad. I don't know anything about stand-up, and all stand-ups are old men."
Stupid things happen to you. You should do stand-up.
Well, I think it's just like you have funny stories about like embarrassing things that happen, and they were like, "This is," but I'd never really watched stand-up or understood it. Yeah, and it just felt like it was a lot of people that are very different to me. But yeah, then I went and did, and I loved it.
So I started roughly the same. I did my first gig in December 2010. So yeah, nearly 10 years.
Yeah, we started nearly the same time.
Yeah. I started for a lot of reasons. First of all, I lived with a comic, so I had a bit of an insight into how it. I always thought that, like, I didn't know the thing.
Oh wait, sorry, I've done the maths wrong. If I started in 2011, oh no, wait, coming up to 10 years because it's 2020.
Yeah.
Sorry,
yeah. So I live with Rob Broderick, who is a.
Did you
comic.
live with Rob?
Yeah, so that's how I even knew that comedy was something.
He's a bander man.
A Banda Man is fantastic freestyle rapper, and he was like, oh, this is how you do the open mics, or like he was like, oh, I did this course and like just to get you started, and then you do the open mic. So I was like, oh right, that's interesting, and I hated like a lot of stand up, and I think like weirdly at the time like I was just like I always told myself like if I haven't found a job to do that I want by the time I'm 30, I'll just do comedy. And I just thought, okay, well, I'm nearly 30, I might as well do it.
So you'd always thought you'd wanted to do it.
I never wanted to do stand up.
You just couldn't find a job
because I hated. I didn't like stand up. I still don't.
No, I'm the same. I never, and I think as well, like a lot. I much prefer it now because there's a lot more voices and people that I like.
When we were starting, it was young white men in t-shirts and jeans doing really boring made-up stories about being on the bus.
Old white men.
Or yeah, for me, it was like when you see them on TV, it's just the younger ones, and it was like, fucking hell, comedy is shit.
Yeah,
I could absolutely do better than this bollocks. And obviously I didn't for years, and now obviously way better than those guys.
Yeah, I think it's just what's great now is that you can see people that like, I love it because it's people that I find really funny. But
yeah.
Until you see it, you don't know it exists.
I don't know what it was. Yeah, I'm glad I started when I did, rather than any other time. Not that I'm not sure how different it would be, but I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I still have my like. What was the question? Why did you start?
Why did you start and when did you start? So what made you
Two reasons.
do stand-up?
One, I lived with someone who did it. Secondly, I didn't know what to do with myself. And thirdly, I hated stand-up. So I thought I'd give it a shot. I hate it because, like, listen, there's like, I think, at the time, I read this article from Richard Ayoade after I'd started, about a year after I'd started. And he said, I don't really like stand-up. There's only about 3 or 4 good stand-ups in the world. And at the time, I was like, no, that can't be true. I was like, oh, you're an idiot for saying that because there's so many good stand-ups. But the more that I watch it, I realize there's really only 3 or 4 good stand-ups in the world. And the rest are mediocre.
And you're friends with all of them.
And I'm friends with all of them, yeah.
Hello.
No, but you can't talk about your friends in that way because you're invested in them in a different way. You want them to do well.
Yeah. But that doesn't make any sense because it's not like you said you started it because you hated it. Like I wouldn't be a snake tamer because I hate snakes.
No, as in like I didn't like the stand-up I was seeing, and I was like, I've seen better.
I can be a solution to this problem. You're like an inventor. You invented what didn't exist.
I thought I could do it better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I don't think you should start doing stand-up just because you think, yeah, I could give that a go. It's more that you should start if you think you can do better than the people there.
I don't know about better,
or
but
you
just think you can,
right?
that you have something to say.
And I had nothing to say for a very long time. So yeah, that makes me sound really grumpy, that answer.
Well, the truth is coming out as the Q&A goes on.
I like the stand-up questions. Keep asking me more. There'll be a masterclass coming soon.
The special £50 a month.
Yeah, from me.
Entirely free to Patreon members. I think because if you have any questions about stand-up or podcasting, I guess that's the only thing we know anything about. Yeah. And even then we are frequently wrong.
I know a bit about dinosaurs, but not a lot.
Any dinosaur questions,
I don't actually. I take it back.
Send them in. I'll answer them. Are there any more?
That was the last direct question. The only other one was a lot of people had comments about the table in the last few.
Yeah.
So we should probably address
a lot of anger about the table. But this table, isn't this a beauty? You can see right through it.
It's not in shot.
Oh, it's not.
Because you can see through it and you're wearing a skirt.
Too many complaints and now you don't get to see the table. I'm sorry.
This table actually has... Is this a leg?
Pure glass.
2-leg pure glass table.
Pure. If you could imagine a glass table.
It's bent glass. It's great.
It's bent.
So
beautiful.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, and I know it can be annoying.
Why do they make tables in glass? It doesn't make sense because you could fall through it and then really hurt yourself.
Well, tempered glass is toughened, so you don't. You can't. You're still right. You're still right, but you can still fall through wood. Thanks for the questions.
Thanks
everyone.
for the questions. Yeah, that was fun. It's nice to not have to think of things to say.
So nice.
Yeah,
maybe like once a month towards the end of the month each time. I think.
Yeah. So any other questions? Keep posting them.
I don't know, or you can keep posting them or email us or whatever. We'll pick them up.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.